Hello and welcome to Spargur Yarn Co. My name is Will. I'm coming to you from Henderson, Nevada, where I live with my two dogs, Princess and Duchess. At the moment, I am currently living alone, and I have basically some stories about why that is, but I'll touch on that in the life updates at the end of the video. I have so much to cover today, so I do have timestamps in the video description box below so that you can skip around to the parts that you are interested in. Because of the possible length of this video, there's going to be some editing. I know some people prefer when people just turn on the camera and go for it, but I like to add a spark of professionalism to my content if I can. Hopefully you'll enjoy. If you are new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video and coming to see what I'm all about here at Spargur Yarn Crafts. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. It really does mean a lot that you continue to come here and watch me. I've been doing this for 2.5, almost 3 years now. I actually cannot remember when my first episode was. I think it was 2017, but it could have been 2018. Excuse me. I think it was 2018. 2018 sounds right. Anyway, if you are interested in any of my other social links, you can find all of that in the video description box below. I'm going to go over a few of those links as this video or this podcast goes on, so continue to be looking for those things if you want to. Some of the things that are down there, though, are affiliate links. I also have information about the different content or equipment that I use to film my podcast if you're interested in any of those things for starting your own podcast, or if you just need camera equipment or want to know what I use. So that's in there as well. If you want to support the podcast but don't have a whole lot of funds at the moment, which I know a lot of people don't right now, by the way, do not feel obligated in any sort of way. There's absolutely... I'm not asking, it's just one of those things where if you want to, it's available. There's a link for what is called Ko-Fi, K-O-F-I. Basically, you can do what's called Buy Me a Coffee, and it's a $3 donation towards the podcast that goes help to create more content for the podcast here. So if that's something you want to do, that link is available for you. I think that's all the administrative stuff. I haven't really been doing anything with a Ravelry group. I'm rarely on Ravelry. Most of the time I am either working on patterns I have already purchased, or I am designing my own, and I'm doing a lot more sewing. So I haven't been using Ravelry a whole lot, so the group there kind of died away. Do you like my mug? It's a unicorn. I'm drinking my coffee. It's still kind of early here, I think. Yeah, I'm filming this at 9:15 in the morning on a Saturday. As far as episodes go, it has been a while, so I have put up other content. There's some yarn hauls. There's a tutorial on how to do this crochet ribbed beanie that is up on the channel. I am going to be doing a giveaway here very soon, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you're subscribed and hit that bell for notifications so that you know when I put that video up. Again, all of the timestamps are in the video description box below, so let's go ahead. We're going to jump right on into the works in progress for this episode. Okay, so let me show you what I've been working on. I have three items. I actually have more works in progress than that, but they're kind of boring, and they've been on the back burner for such a long time that at this point it doesn't seem worth it to show. So I'm not going to bother with it. So the first thing is I'm working on a scrap blanket. This is the wrong way. So I started in the middle here in this black square, and I was working two sides. Then after I got to a certain length, I turned and did the opposite two sides. So these are all leftover scraps, essentially, from different things that I've done. A lot of these actually are, I have a hand-cranked knitting machine, and so I've been making hats. So I take the leftovers from that ball, whatever I used to make the hat, and I put it in here. Now, these are all acrylic or acrylic blends. They're all synthetic blends. None of this has real wool in it, and that is because I want this to be washable. This is kind of one of those things that I work on when I'm just sitting in front of the TV and don't want to work on anything complicated. I just want to crochet. So these are all, it's all double crochet. I'm using a 6mm hook, which is a J. I think that's a J hook. There's so many different yarns in here. A lot of them actually, if you watch any of my yarn hauls, several of those are in here. This one is kind of neon craziness. I have another one of that. It's back here, I think in that cubicle right there. What is it? It's Red Heart Roll With It Tweed. I know, I've got really bright lights. Roll With It Tweed. Very bright, very neon, very fun. This one is called Neon, appropriately. I actually bought that at Joann's. I don't remember when. Probably early January, I think. I just saw it and was like, oh, gotta have that. So that's in here. This dark purple tweed is, I think it's a Michaels brand yarn, like Craftsmart or something like that. Then the pink here is Scarfy. The 4 rows from here to here, that is Coffee Shop from Premier Yarns. I think that's one of the yarns that I got, one of the yarns that I got in the Premier Yarn haul. I think I did a hat with that, maybe. Oh, I think that's one I haven't finished yet. I cranked out a bunch, but I haven't actually finished the tops of all of them, so there's a pile of them ready to be finished. And then this last one up here is, it's another Scarfy teal and white, I think. So yeah, 6mm hook. I'm gonna keep going until I feel like it's done, and then I'll put a border on it, and then we'll call it quits. But yeah, fun scrap blanket, just something for me to, I don't hold on to scraps. I'm gonna be real honest, I don't hold on to scraps. I don't like having scraps. Now, with that, scraps are to me like, there's not enough to do any project with or to add it to any project. Not like, like these are leftover. These are leftover fingering weight. There's enough here to do stuff with, and you can add it into other things. I keep stuff like that, but like scraps, I don't keep. And so my big thing is if I can use it in something, I will. If not, I'm just gonna toss it. I know that seems like a huge waste, but for a lot of the stuff that I'm throwing away, it didn't cost me a lot of money, so it doesn't like kill me. Yeah, anyway, so scrap blanket. Second thing is another blanket, and it's been a while since I've shown this, but I have finished part 5 of the Helen Shrimpton pattern Octagonical. It's huge. So far, it's still circular. There are corners. We're just getting to the part where it'll turn into an octagon. But yeah, I've been working on this for a while. I'm weaving in all of my ends as I go so that I don't have to worry about it later. Just look at all of this beautiful work. This blanket is so beautiful. I did make a mistake when I bought this yarn. So all of this yarn is the Hook Nook small stuff. It was on clearance at Joann's and I bought a bunch of it. Most of what I bought was DK weight. I did not realize that the blue that I had bought, 2 of the skeins are worsted weight, so they're a little thicker. It doesn't look that much different because I did use the same size hook. It's just a little denser there. But as I'm continuing to do this, I'm running out of yarn. I don't know if I'll be able to do the whole blanket with the amount of yarn that I had purchased. I purchased the yarn before I knew what pattern I was going to do with it. If I could go back and do it in the opposite direction, I would buy enough yarn. So there's a chance this will not end up being completed because this yarn is actually kind of difficult to find now. I believe Joann's stopped carrying the hook nook. I don't know why they stopped doing that, but it is proving difficult to find more of this yarn that's not exorbitantly inflated. You know, people who bought it and then they're trying to make a profit off of it. So I'm going to keep looking. If I can find more of the yarn, I'll get it. If not, this may just sit unfinished. But with the size that it is, I'm honestly not, like, butthurt about it because it's already pretty big. I'm using a 4.5mm hook. And this is all DK weight yarn. And right now, this would sit on top of my full-size bed. The funny thing is, sometimes it's still a little cold here at night, so I'll actually be using this as the blanket as I'm working on it. So it's big enough to cover my feet up to where I'm working on it. So it's already pretty large. I'm not really concerned about the size. If it doesn't get finished, it doesn't get finished. It's not the end of the world for me, because I'll have used the yarn. And the last thing I'm working on is a new project. And I wish I had a longer cord on it. I'm going to do that the next time I knit all the way across these rows because this is very short row heavy. But I'm working on Dotted Rays by Stephen West. This is a crescent shawl. If you've never done this, it's actually a lot of fun. I highly recommend doing it. It's really easy, and there's no wraps and turns or anything. When he tells you to turn, you just turn and go, like it's the end of a row. You don't have to do a wrap and turn, a German short row, none of that, because where your turn is, you're going to end up with a yarn over and a hole. So you don't have to do any kind of wrap and turn. It's perfect. I am using a gradient yarn. I don't know how well that shows up in the camera. But it is a gradient. It is going from light to dark, and it's going to get darker. So there is a difference. It'll be more obvious as it works up more, but I think you can sort of tell that it's slowly getting darker, which is perfect. It's the kind of gradient I love. I do not remember what this yarn is called. I do not have the label anymore. This is the yarn that was originally dyed for Wingspan. And I gave up on Wingspan. Nope, too complicated. I'm sorry, it is beautiful. It is an absolutely gorgeous pattern. I have no desire to knit that thing. So I'm using it for Dotted Rays. I think I have a picture. Or I have the pattern. Here we go. Well, it's... He doesn't... Okay, I have a black and white printer, and then he takes these super light photos. But this is the shawl. Now, I bought the basic version. There are 4 versions of this. There is the single color version. Then there is the faded speckled version. There is one with like a brioche border. And then there's even another one after that. And, I just bought the basic one. But he does give instructions for, like, if you wanted to make it striped or something, you can do that. All of the information on how to do that is in here. There's also a smaller worsted weight version that he's written in here. So, there's a place that says to stop if you're doing the small. Yeah, so, like, if you wanted to do only the small size, he's got the where to stop for that. I can't show much because it is a paid pattern, but if you haven't knit this, I highly recommend it. I find that even though the rows are getting longer, you do the longest part first, and then it slowly gets shorter as you continue to knit it. So, like, each row gets shorter because of the short rows, so it actually doesn't suck to knit. I'm really enjoying the knit, so I will probably knit more than one of these. And I'm using US 5s, which is the 3.75 millimeter needle. And so one of the things that I'm doing, because I always want to check and make sure that my stitch counts are correct, I'm putting a stitch marker every 50 stitches. So that I can keep count. The other thing is, it tells you in here, like, knit to 11 stitches before the previous turn. So what I've been doing is I have a stitch marker that marks where I need to turn. So I'll knit up to this point, take this marker off, and then turn the work, and then if, so on this section I'm supposed to go 13 before the next turn. So I'll take this marker off, turn the work, and then knit 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. And after I get to that, I'll put the marker there and knit the rest of the row so that I know when I come back, I'm gonna stop at the marker, move it the next 13 stitches, and go down. And that is really helping me, and I don't have, like, I'm not gonna forget where to stop. So if you haven't knit this and you want to, I highly recommend doing that. That is just going to be a great way to keep track of where you are. If you have any questions about that, I'd love to answer them. It looks complicated, but it's really not. It's such a simple pattern. Yes, you are going to have an I-cord edge and an I-cord bind off, but I think that really just makes the pattern. It's so pretty, and I cannot wait to finish that. It's actually, if I'm not working on that scrap blanket, I'm working on that shawl, because this blanket requires attention, and I don't have a whole lot of that right now. Okay, so let's move on to my finished objects. I have a ton of them I'm really excited to show, so let's go on to my finished objects. Alright, finished objects. I don't know what to start with. I have so many. Most of them are hats. Let's get through the hats, yeah? Okay, I have been on a hat knitting, well, I'm a crazy person. I have so much going on. Okay. Actually, I kind of want to save 3 of these. Yeah, I think 3 of these I'm going to wait on for another part. Okay. So, I bought a lot of new yarns. A lot of you saw, with my hauls. And I wanted to I just wanted to get an idea of how they work up, how they knit. So I made a bunch of different hats. This one is a bulky weight hat. It looks huge, but, well, it is a little big. But it does the job. It's not cold enough here for a hat like this, but it works. I don't like super snug hats, so these work for me. This is Karen Swirl Cakes. It's a 5 bulky. I don't remember the colorway, but it's got the purple and white at the top and the gray in the middle. I believe I cast on 88 stitches and did 2x2 ribbing. I don't remember, probably, I think a 10.5 needle. And then I did, I think I increased to 90 because that was going to give me a 9 repeat decrease. I think that's what I went for. And another thing I did that I'm really happy I started doing this, if I can find where I did it. It's not hugely important, but I think it is interesting. Oh, okay. So as I knit this hat, I carried my tail up through, I think it's right here, up through. So, and I want to do a tutorial to show how I did that. And then I got to a certain point as I carried it up, and then I wove it in as I went. So that way I didn't have to worry about weaving it in later, and it's just knit into the hat. So yeah, I did that with this one, and I really like how that turned out. Guys, if feels like my train of thought has derailed, that's because it has. I took this whole week off of work. I needed it because I'm just fried. So, yeah, I may not have turned on all the switches this morning. Anyway, there's one. This hat is the Red Heart Roll With It tweed. It's a worsted weight hat. I believe I cast on 108. Is that right? Maybe, did I do 100? I can't remember. I was trying to get a similar fit in different weights. And why didn't I write this down? I don't know. This fits really well too. I like it. It hides my ponytail. So I really like this. I love the way the yarn works up. I like the way that it's marled. It's a beautiful, beautiful yarn. I wish there was more pink, because this is my favorite part of the hat. But there's so much not pink down here, and then there's a lot of pink up here, and I wish there was more pink in the hat. And I think even on the scrap blanket, the pink didn't carry through very long. That's my only kind of complaint about the yarn, is that I just wish there was more pink, but that's a personal preference. It's actually, it's a very soft yarn, it's a lightweight yarn, it's of course machine washable. So yeah, very thrilled with that hat. The first hat I did that was worsted weight was this one. This is in my own hand-dyed yarn. This is in Blood Moon, which is available for purchase. I added a pom-pom. I believe this is the same, no, this is 108, because I did a 3x1 rib, which is, it's nice. 3x1 is nice, but anyway, this is non-superwash, I believe. Yeah, this is my non-superwash base, so this is the fluff base. Again, look how beautiful those variations are for hand-dyed. God, that's beautiful. That's absolutely gorgeous. You can't get that with machine-dyed stuff. That's beautiful. Anyway, so that's another hat. This is one of the Premier Yarns. This is Premier Yarns, Premier Muir Woods Sequoia. If you watched that yarn haul, this is how this knit up. God, it's so pretty. So pretty. I love the way it's striped. I love the variations. I did knit this one way too big. Okay, getting over this ponytail is getting annoying. This is a very slouchy hat. Actually, I'm okay. I like slouchy. I do like slouchy hats. So it's big, but I like that. I like the way it fits. I love the color. Oh my gosh, the color is insanely gorgeous. I think this is my favorite. I don't remember. I think I was knitting on US 8s. US 8. Yeah, I think it was going to be US 10.5 for bulky, US 8 for worsted, US 6 for DK, and US 4s for fingering weight if I was going to do one in all of the weights. So I think this was on 8s. That seemed right. Okay, the rest of these were cranked out on my knitting machine. I have some that are real wool and I have some that aren't. So this is one of the real wool hats. This, if you recall, if you've been with me for a while, I got that like 2,500 yards of undyed superwash single ply worsted weight yarn, and I knit a sweater out of it. Ended up being horrible, by the way, but I did crank out some of that yarn. So some of what's weird about this is that this yarn goes very thick, thin, thick, thin. It's very almost boucle-like. I don't know if I can catch any of that. But see, like, that's really thin, but right below it is really thick. So it changes thickness. So this hat doesn't look wonderful. Like, you can see where that just became a problem right there. But beautiful. I love the variation. It just, because of the type of the yarn, it's a very interesting hat. Anyway, all of the cranked hats are double thick. Some of them fit me, some of them don't. It really depends on the, oh my goodness. It really depends on the thickness of the yarn. But they're all going to be a little slouchy, and I like my pom-pom. Do not judge me for my pom-pom. But you can see, like, it's a pretty big stretch. I have no idea if that focused or not, but it stretches out, but it fits. It's a nice snug fit. I'm not huge on snug, but with these I don't mind it. So this is nice and warm. It's not itchy like I thought it would be because of the wool, but yeah, no, that's nice. Another one, this is a Cascade yarn. It had a label, I got rid of the label, I have no idea what it was. It's like, I think it's wool and bamboo viscose. And of course pom-pom there. Nice adult size. I am going to be selling these in my Etsy shop if you or anyone you know is interested. But, because I don't need this many hats. Well, first of all, I'm going to decide which ones I want to keep, and then the rest I will sell. This is an acrylic hat. This is Red Heart. Oh crap. Red Heart Hello Gorgeous. I don't remember the colorway. I'm gonna be honest. I am not a huge fan of this color. Oops. Looks like some of my interior. I was trying to hide my ends and I didn't do a great job. I'm not a huge fan of this colorway. The colors just don't, I don't think they go very well together. It's just not, it's not pretty. It's sad that they would call this Hello Gorgeous, because this, to me, is not at all gorgeous. It's probably why they don't sell a whole lot of it. Anyway, that's another one. This one is the Lion Brand Scarfie. You saw part of this in the scrap blanket, so I used the rest of the ball for that. And so this is the hat. What I really liked about this is where the ball started. It's exactly the same on the inside and the outside, so it's got the same... It was perfectly in half, so it didn't matter which side I used as the outside. Beautiful. This is so soft. I have to tell you, I am so impressed by how soft Lion Brand Scarfie is. When I first saw Lion Brand Scarfie, I thought it was going to be the itchiest thing in the world, and it's not. It is so incredibly soft. I've already decided that I'm keeping this one. Because this is, it's my color, it's my size, like this is just, oh, I love it. It's so nice. Yeah, I might put this one on later and just wear it for the heck of it. God, it's so pretty, isn't it? I love it. Okay, the next three are real wool. This one I think I've shown before, but I hadn't finished it at the time. This is a hat that I made using my Let's Get Spooky colorway. Beautiful, beautiful. This is on the Squish base, which is the 100% superwash merino worsted weight. I'm going to be real honest right now. My supplier is out of this base until like April. So I am having trouble finding a replacement worsted weight base for my business. And that's going to be fun. I got to figure that out. But this, it's so pretty. I love the way that this worked up. And I put like a nice green pom-pom on it. This is Lorna? No, Zombie Yarns. Zombie Yarns. Her name is Lorna. Lorna used to be the owner of Lorna's Laces, I think. And then she sold that to someone, and then she started Zombie Yarns. So this is Zombie Yarns. I don't remember the colorway. And this came from A Curious Cuttlefish. I believe she shipped this to me. Her name is Sarah. I haven't seen much of her on YouTube lately. I hope she's okay. I'm going to check in on her. But yeah, this is one of the skeins she had sent me a while ago. and I just decided to crank it out because it was so pretty, and I thought, and purple's my favorite color, so this is so pretty. I don't think this is one I'm going to keep, though. I think I have another friend that I'm going to give this to, but I love it. I absolutely love it. And the last one was actually one I did out of my DK weight base, which was similar to this one. It's the same dye, just one's a little bit redder because this is superwash, and the single ply takes up the dye differently. Same dye though, I think different concentrations also, but DK weight, sort of worsted weight, more boucle. Yeah, but this one, the machine had a little bit of trouble with it. I'm going to do another DK weight hat crank and see if that was me or if that was the machine. I've since bought a new one because the old one just broke on me. I think it was just a cheaper made one. Anyway, really, really pretty. Love the way hand-dyed yarn knits up. Gorgeous. Okay, I got 2 more finished objects for you. This one y'all saw as a work in progress. You like how my ponytail flips around? Which one's the right side? This one. This is blocked, ends woven in and everything. This is the Eyes on You shawl. God, it's so pretty. I did not realize that the main color I was supposed to have 2 skeins of. Oops. Anyway, so the dark purple main color down here, that is Let's Get Spooky, and I did that on my Mo Fuzz base, which is 56% wool, 44% mohair. I think that's right. I forget until I go to dye it again. So yeah, and that's also what the orange color up here is, which is the eyes. That is the colorway Smash-O-Lantern. Those are both available colorways in my shop. And then this middle yellow here is what I threw in because I knew I was going to need more yarn. That is a leftover Knit Crate color. It's one of those pre-marled yarns that is then dyed. I used it because I thought it would kind of match the color scheme a little bit better, and I do like it. It pops out nicely. It's really pretty. So this is done. Nice big shawl, asymmetrical. Very thrilled with it. I believe this is a free pattern, so it is on Ravelry. If I remember, I will link it below. This I knit on US 5s. US 5s. And my last one, oh my gosh, you guys haven't seen this in forever, but it's finally done. I'm so excited about it. I just have some ends to weave in, but other than that, it is blocked and done. And that is my fingering weight version of Starflanket. It is done. God, isn't this pretty? So, yeah, I worked really hard on this for like a month so I could finish it. There's so many different yarns in here, I can't name them all. It just, it's so pretty. The brioche section took forever. I hate it. There's just so many beautiful yarns in here. So pretty. I am thrilled with the final outcome. Gosh, it's gorgeous. It's wonderful. I am so happy that I did this. I will not be doing another one, but I am happy that I did it. It's a wonderful lap blanket. It goes all the way to my feet and sits in my lap. It's fingering weight. The pattern is written for DK weight, but I did fingering weight because I have so much of it. Yeah, it's just, it's so beautiful. I did this on US 6s. US 6. Did this on a US 6 needle. This is not the easiest pattern. Getting around these points to knit in the round it's a nightmare. It's not something I want to do again. I'm glad I did it, but I don't want to do it again. I am thrilled with the different yarns that I used and the way they worked up. I love the way the brioche turned out, even though I did make some mistakes in a few places. Oops. Yeah. other than that, I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled with the final outcome. This is actually going to be the perfect weight for where I live because it doesn't get too cold. It's honestly perfect. But like I said, I've got a few ends to weave in, but that won't take long. I think there's like 10 ends I gotta do. Won't take long, just gotta do it. Okay, those are all of my finished objects for this podcast. Like I said, I had a ton of them, and I actually have a couple more that I'm going to show here in this next segment, which is what's new with Spargur Yarn Co. So let me get that stuff together, and I'll be right back. Alright, let me show you what I have that's going to be, actually that's available on my shop now, if you're interested. So the first thing I want to show is some new yarn. I have some new colorways. The first one here is this one. This is called Envy. Envy is a beautiful green color with lots of cool colors. It is not the dye. This is not made from a single dye. It is mixed together. I think my camera's focusing on the wrong part of my screen. It's just such a beautiful, beautiful colorway. And again, it's called Envy. I can do it on any of the bases. This is a semi-solid colorway, so when you order this color, it is dyed to order. So however many you order, it'll be dyed all together in the same batch, which can increase your chances of not having to alternate skeins for large projects. Still recommended that you do, but again, it is dyed to order, so it will all get dyed at the same time. I believe it's a little greener. Greens are really difficult to show, by the way. I think it's a little greener than it's showing on camera. But again, your screen brightness, my screen brightness, even just your eyes, the way your eyes interpret things, everything's going to be different, so. Oh, and I wanted to show you, so one of the things that I'm doing, because a lot of people want to see swatches, they want to see how the yarn is going to knit up when they knit with it. So I've been making a hat. I've been making sure I dye it on a worst weight base, and then I make a hat with it on the knitting machine. So this is Envy in a hat. Look how even that is. It's so pretty. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm very thrilled with this. It shows up a little brighter on camera. You can see a little bit more of the variations. I can't really see all of that in real life, but so pretty. Oh my god. Look at the stitch evenness of this. Oh, stitch definition is just to die for. Okay, so the next one I have is one called Pixels. A nice aubergine with pink and bright greens. Gorgeous, gorgeous colorway. And that in a hat looks like this. Very pleased. I love the randomness. I mean, you can tell that there is a pooling to it, but God, it's just so pretty. Like, look at all those beautiful colors coming out of that. I love it. I love this. So that's Pixels, also available now. And the last one I have is called For the Beauty. For the Beauty is very earthy, very kind of, soft blues and greens with these bold browns, and the browns kind of break into these reds and yellows. So, for the beauty of the earth, because it's earth tones. So that, I'm so proud of this, actually. And the hat I made with this, I'm keeping it. This is, because it's soft and gorgeous with these just nice pops of color. And like these just bold browns and these, surprising yellows and the reds that come out occasionally. this is just, it's so pretty, and I think the pom-pom I picked was perfect. It's just, this is amazing, and it's so soft. Again, this is on the squish base. It's just, it's perfect. I love it. So I'm keeping this hat for sure. But I just, this colorway, it's one of my new favorites. Also available now. I can do these on any of my bases. Right now, everything is dyed to order. I'm not going to dye up a bunch of stock and then hope that it moves. I'm going to wait until you order it so that you are getting, you know, a batch that matches. And, you know, if you're doing a larger project, you can be confident that it's gonna work together. So, yeah, those are the new yarns from Spargur Yarn Co. Envy, Pixels, and For the Beauty. Beautiful, beautiful new yarns. Also available, and these are going to be on my Etsy shop because this targets a wider audience. Not everybody's going to be interested in hand-dyed yarns, but a lot of people do like things like this. These cute little box pouches. This is 8x5x5. And this is 6x3x4.5, I believe. So this is great for like your notions or something like that. And they're knitting llamas, by the way. And then this one is candy. This one's great for like makeup or anything that you need to travel with. They're so fun. They're so pretty. They are zippered. And they are lined as well. Yes, these do have raw edges, but they've been serged. Wait. Yeah, they've been serged because that's the easier way to make them. These are so fun. I've had a lot of interest in these, but these are available on my Etsy. That link is in the video description box below, so you can check that out. But again, like, this is perfect for notions. And this one has like a really nice floral lining in it, but it's so cute. It is it's got interfacing, so it's sturdy. These are gorgeous and available again on my Etsy shop. Check those out if you're interested. I have a limited quantity available, but I have more of this fabric for sure. This one I can probably find more of. I found it at Joann's, but yeah. So those are available on the shop right now. Okay, so the next thing I want to show you, if you are still here and enjoying this video, I have some sewing related things that I want to show you guys. So if you like sewing or are interested in any of those things, that's going to be next, and then after that will be the life updates. So yeah, stick around. I'm going to show you some of my sewing stuff. So, some sewing updates. If you follow my Instagram, you may have seen that I was super excited about creating something that I can wear. I have done one or two very simple garments before, but nothing that was quite the level of what I showed on Instagram or on TikTok, if you follow me on TikTok. One of those things, though, is a hoodie. This is made out of flannel. It's a very simple pattern. It's from the Form Pattern Shop on Etsy. Pretty simple to put together pattern. But I did the largest size, which is an extra large. This is the first one I did, Marauder's Map, and obviously you see I cut it out upside down. I did it correct on the back, but not on the front. Flannel I like sewing because it doesn't have stretch, so I can sew it with a normal stitch, and everything's going to fit together great. But I did make another one, and this is the one I'm most excited about. And that is my unicorn hoodie. I made this gorgeous unicorn hoodie. This is using Blizzard fleece from Joann. And I even did the 2x2, this is going to be really hard to see because it's white, but this is that 2x2 knit ribbing that you can put on it. I did it on both the sleeves and the bottom, so it's got a nice stretchy fit. It does have a pocket in the front, and it's got a nice big hood, which I love. I love all of my hoods on anything I wear to be like a Sith hood from Star Wars. Like, it's got to be big and flowy, and that's what I want. But I did this. I made this, and it's beautiful. It's not perfect. So, because everything almost has to be zigzag stitched, you can see where the seam is just kind of loose, and that's because I don't have a serger. That is one of the things that I'm saving up for. I'm saving up to get a serger so I can do more things like this. I want to make more of my own clothes. I want to make more of my own clothes. I want to put my own flair into things, and this is one of the ways I want to do it. Like, this is the stuff I want to wear. I don't want to wear the conservative male clothing. I don't want to wear those things. They're not interesting to me, and the colors are ugh. There's nothing fun. Like, this is what I want to wear. I wore it to Walmart yesterday. Like, fuck it, I don't care. Sorry, excuse my language. I love this, and this is the kind of thing that I want to wear. So I want to make more of my own clothes so that I can wear the things that I want to wear. But part of that is that I have to get better at sewing fabric that stretches, because I don't want it to look the way this one does with the seams where the thread is showing through the seams. Now, I could probably fix that. I could probably go in, and now that it's kind of zigzag stitch, I could go in and probably put in a good solid layer of stitching just above that to keep that from happening. I'm not going to worry about it on this one. This was just, it was the first time I made it. I'm so proud of it, and I cannot believe I did this. It's amazing. But I do want to make more. I've actually had a lot of people saying they would buy one, so should I sell hoodies? Is that, I don't know. One of the things that's kind of come up in my life recently is that I want to quit my day job. I'm tired of answering to people that don't care about me. And I understand that the world kind of works that way, and that's fine. But I think I have a real potential to be my own boss. I've spent this entire week working hard on production and marketing and things like that for my business, and honestly, it's probably been the best week of my life. I just getting to answer to myself and use the time the way that I want to use it. It's been really nice. So I want to quit my day job, and I think that if I do things right, that I can. So let me know if you want a unicorn hoodie, because I think this fleece goes on sale like next week, and I can get it for really cheap, which means that I can pass the savings on to you. So let me know. Yeah, these don't take long to make. One thing though is that they will be one size. I think they go up to about a 52-inch bust, but that'll be kind of tight. I'm a 48 to 50, and it's got about 4 inches of positive ease. The pattern didn't have anything bigger. I can try to make it a little bigger, but I don't know necessarily how to do that. Additionally, I only have the one pattern. I could probably print it again, but taping all the pattern pieces together and cutting them out multiple times to make all the different sizes is kind of annoying. So somebody said I could market it as like a boyfriend or a partner hoodie, to where, you know, it's that oversized thing that you wear while at home. So I don't know. It's one of those things, I'm thinking about it. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm good enough yet to do that, and I don't have a serger. So, you know, you're running the risk of it coming apart, and I don't want that for anybody else. Like, for me, I'll just fix it, but for anybody else, that would suck. So, I don't know. It's an idea. Another thing that I'm actually really proud of is I'm getting better at my free motion quilting. I did a baby quilt just to kind of practice, and I bought, so this was a jelly roll, and it had a bunch of wine related stuff on it. I don't drink anymore. Actually, yesterday was my 300 days sober. Not sober. I wouldn't say I was an alcoholic. I was just kind of using alcohol to medicate. So, I quit drinking. So I'm 300 days without alcohol. And I am so happy that I did that. Anyway, so I put all this together and I, made my quilt sandwich and whatever, and then I free motion quilted it, and guys, I look at the back of this and can't believe that I'm the one that did it. This is so cool. Now, it's not perfect. It's definitely not perfect. I've got a lot to do and a lot to grow on, but guys, this is awesome. I'm super thrilled with this. So I can't wait to bind it and I think actually, I think I'm going to use this as like my dining room. I don't have a dining room table. I have a folding table, one of those like long 6-foot folding tables, and I use one side of it for food. So I was thinking I would put this over that to just kind of feel like it's more like a table. Is that weird? The last sewing thing I have is I did another foundation paper piecing. This is the rebellion symbol from Star Wars, and I used just a bunch of different scraps to put this together. And I am extremely pleased with how it turned out. When I bought this one, or excuse me, this was a free pattern from Pitcher's Boutique. When I got this one, I was hoping it was going to be the same size as my Baby Yoda. Where is that? Uh-oh. I've lost Baby Yoda. Nope, that's not it. Ooh, well, Nope, that's another quilt top. I don't know what I did with him. That's not good. I swore he was right over here. No, project bags. Anyway, so the Baby Yoda one I did was 25 by 25, so it would make a final 24-inch by 24-inch quilt block. This is 12 by 12, so it's a quarter of that size. So I would have to make 4 of them to make the same size block, and I didn't want to do that. But this is still really cute, and it's good practice, so I'm enjoying that. But yeah, I did... So there's like so many different things in here. There's like some Christmas fabric, and then there's the candy fabric. There's some solids. This brown, though, is kind of clashing. There's some like butterflies, and I think this is snails or seashells or something. More butterflies. This was supposed to be, like this one here in the middle was supposed to be sloths, but you can't tell that. Anyway, yeah, cool. Rebellion symbol from Star Wars. Alright, that's all of the fiber-related content. I'm going to move on to life updates. So if you have stayed long enough for the fiber content, thank you so much. If you were going to stick around for the life updates, I appreciate that. However, I know that not everybody wants to know about everybody else's personal life, and I absolutely hold no ill anything towards people who just don't care about my personal life. So if you don't care about my personal life, go on and have a great day, and I will see you again here on the Spargur Yarn Crafts channel, I hope. If you're going to stick around, give me just a second, I'm going to get reset up for that. Okay, life updates. How have y'all been? It's been a while since I kind of updated everybody on my personal stuff. There hasn't really been a whole lot to talk about since we've been in a panorama this whole time. A pterodactyl, a panda express, a pandemic. So, quite a few things have happened, mainly with work. So my boss accepted another position with the company, which meant she had to move all the way across the country back to Charleston, South Carolina. So she left and resigned her position as my boss. I did not apply for her role. I would have been the next in line, but I didn't feel that I had enough time to prepare, and I knew that I'd be losing a lot of what I really cherish about my current role, the flexibility, the work-life balance. I knew I would lose out on a lot of those things, especially because I'd be moving to salary, so I would no longer be able to earn overtime. And that's just not something that I felt that I was ready for. I wasn't ready to give up what I've become accustomed to, because what I've become accustomed to is giving me the opportunity to do this. And I care more about making sure that I have the opportunity to do what I enjoy doing, and that I'm not ready to take a step backward there. Also, I've been working so hard on my mental health with therapy and my psychiatrist. So I have a psychiatrist and a therapist. And I've been working so hard in those areas to kind of learn how to cope with my anxiety and my lower moods, and learn, how to, there's some exposure therapy in here regarding learning how to be structured, but then how to be okay with that structure changing. So during the week, Monday through Friday, I have a strict, rigorous daily schedule from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed. And I mean, it's like 5:30 to 6 is my wake up time, 6 to 2:30 is my work time because I'm working from home, 2:30 to 3 is the time that I exercise, 3 to 4 is when I do all of my marketing and business admin, so that could be scheduling my Instagram posts, that could be answering emails, it could be responding to comments on TikTok and Instagram and things like that. Or producing content sometimes. Like if I have video editing that I need to do or something like that, I do that from 3 to 4. 4 to 6 is my errands and my dinner period. So if I need to go out and go to the store, if I need to go to the grocery, if I need to go pick up some kind of supply, if I need to drop something off at the yarn store, and if I'm going to cook dinner or get something, do some kind of pickup, 4 to 6 is the time that I would do that. Then 6 to 8:30 is my crafting time. That's when I do most of my production. If I'm going to be making stuff for the shop, like sewing, I'm going to do that. If I'm going to be knitting on something for this podcast, or if I'm going to be working on something that somebody has ordered from me, that's when I'll do that. But if I'm going to be doing any kind of crafting, that's also the time that I can turn on the TV, so that's when I'll watch documentaries. I've been watching Time Team from Timeline. It's a British show about archaeology. I've been really enjoying watching all of those documentaries and all the different things that they uncover in the rural areas of the UK. Wonderful, wonderful show hosted by Tony Robbins. Tony Robinson? Tony Robbins. I don't pay Tony. Great show. So if I'm going to be working, like if I'm going to be knitting on something and sitting on the sofa, I'll put that on. So that's my 6 to 8:30. 8:30 to 9 is the time that I read. I'm trying to get more, like I buy books and then I never read them. So I'm trying to encourage myself to get in the daily habit of reading for 30 minutes. Then 9 to 9:30 is my wind down time. That's, brush your teeth, get changed into pajamas, turn off the lights, anything like that. And then just kind of wind down in bed, and then 9:30 is my bedtime. So it's very rigorously structured, but we're doing that so that I can get used to saying yes to spontaneous things. So if somebody were to text me and be like, hey, do you want to come over and have dinner with me? I can be like, you know what, yeah, I can just rearrange my schedule and that's fine. Because one of the things that gives me anxiety is when I create a plan and then it changes without any kind of warning. And that has been detrimental to a lot of my relationships. So, we're working on how to balance that. So I've really been working very, very hard on my mental health, and one of the things that I didn't want to take a step back on was my mental health. So I knew my boss would be leaving sometime this year. She was assuming probably June, July, around the time we were going to go back to the office. When she got this position, she was like, hey, I'm going to be leaving in a month. And I was like, I'm not prepared to possibly take this role in a month. The preparation time that I was supposed to have is now gone. I'm not I don't think I can do this yet. There's still things that I wanted to read and learn and, you know, prepare for myself. And that night they were like, well, you're going to have to make a decision about whether or not you're going to apply for this role, because the position is going up on the job board on Monday, and it was Friday. And I felt like I was going to have to make a decision that night, and I ended up suffering 2 anxiety attacks. And that's when I decided that I wasn't going to do it. I was like, if I'm having anxiety attacks just about the thought of having to take this position, I can't imagine the mental health struggles I'm going to go through when I have it. And so I just told her, I said, because she and I are actually pretty good friends too. But I told her, I can't take steps backward. I have worked too hard for almost a year to get to a better place. I can't lose that. I'm not in a place where I'm prepared to cope with the stress that this job would lead. Not to mention that being the supervisor would mean that, you know, working longer hours, being available to the team, because we all start at different times. I usually start at 6 a.m., but they don't have to be in until 9 a.m., which means that somebody could be working 3 to 4 hours later than I would be, and I have to be available to answer questions, and sometimes I have to answer emails or attend meetings, and just that fluctuation of schedule and that time availability, it just wasn't going to work for me. And ultimately I decided not to go out for the position. However, my roommate Peter did go out for the position, and he did get it, yay. The problem with that, though, is we cannot live together with me reporting directly to him. Luckily, he did have another place to go. His brother lives here, so he moved in with his brother. The thing that kind of sucks about that is I cannot afford to live in this house on my own. And so I'm kind of in a weird limbo period. I am covered through the end of March, but I'm gonna have to have a plan in place by then. Which is one of the reasons that I mentioned in the sewing portion that I want to start trying to transition into quitting my day job. I would love to make my side business my only business, and that's why I'm putting so much work and effort into producing things that I can sell, that people want, and, you know, sharing it and producing content for my YouTube and my TikTok and my Instagram. You know, I've put so much work into that because I think I have something that I can grow from, and I think it's time that I really put in that effort. Because I know that I'm not going to grow anymore with this company. Too many things have come to light that kind of just, they make me a little bit nervous about staying. I'm not like making any plans to quit immediately at all. I still love my job. I love the people I work with. I love what I do. I just don't necessarily, the company's core ideals and my core ideals don't line up. And I think there are ways that I can serve the world better. I'm also kind of, I'm in my 4th year, and a lot of recruiters and job people who kind of work in the hiring industry, you know, they're saying 3 to 5 years at a company is all you really need to spend. Your biggest increases are going to come when you move to the next place. So I'm kind of at that point where I need to be thinking about moving on anyway. So either I need to be prepared to move to another company, or I need to be prepared to move on my own. And I think that right now, the way things are, I want to move on my own. But I need to be coming up with a plan, and I need to be working hard on that. But with that said, Peter did have to move out, so I'm currently living alone. I do have some ideas of should I need another roommate. There are places that I can reach out to. So that's, you know, it's something that's in the back of my head, and with having dealt with some of my anxiety, I'm not as scared about possibly bringing a stranger into my home. I feel more confident about meeting with someone and being like, hey, this is kind of the person I am. Here's kind of the ground rules. Either you agree to that or you don't. I don't have a huge fear surrounding that anymore. So yeah, there's a lot of things going on kind of in that realm, and I'm not really scared. I'm not scared about it. I'm just kind of, I'm mostly annoyed that HR put me in a position to where I could possibly end up homeless, and they're not going to offer any kind of support. Like, I get that they have a policy about conflict of interest and fraternization. That's fine. The problem here is that we're in a pandemic. There's not a lot of options, and now they've kind of put me in a position of undue hardship, and they don't want to do anything about it. But I shouldn't be surprised. They're not doing anything for anyone that gets COVID either. It's use your PTO or quit. It is what it is. You know, corporate America. So yeah, those are things I have to think about. Kind of on a positive note, though, my mom, who's been begging me to move home anyway, she's like, I mean, I'll come get you. We'll build you a house in the backyard, and you can live in the backyard. And I know I have a lot of family that would absolutely love for me to move back home. My problem with moving back home is I have a lot of stuff. I don't, I'm gonna be honest, 50% of what I own is craft related. It is what it is. I don't know. There's a lot to think about, and I'm gonna have to do it in a short period of time. But, other than that, I'm actually relatively calm, relatively at peace, dealing with things the normal way. I actually figured out how to get my car back in the garage, which is awesome. I'd been parking outside for the longest time, but I cleared out one side, and now I can park my car in the garage, which is weird right now, because sometimes I forget that I've been parking in the garage, and I open the door, and I'm like, whose car is that? Oh, that's mine. So that's fun, but no, I have a dream, I have a plan. Well, I don't have a plan. I have an idea of what I would like, and I'm working on a plan to get there. So if you would like to be a part of that, I would absolutely love it. And one of the best ways that you can be a part of that is just to continue to subscribe and watch my videos. My channel is monetized, so, you know, I do make ad revenue. So when you watch my videos, it just adds a little bit of money to my podcast and to my business, and that every little bit helps, and you can do that for absolutely free. So if you are, you know, subscribed and watching my videos, thank you. You are doing an amazing job at helping me continue to grow my business, and I appreciate that so much. And because of that, I will be doing a giveaway. I actually filmed it a while ago. I just haven't edited the video yet because I had a lot of stuff to edit. So I will be putting that up very soon, so stay tuned for that. If you want to know anything else about me, like, go ahead and leave me some questions. I love answering questions. I used to have, like, a Q&A thing on Ravelry, but I'm not... there's too many things to keep track of. Just put it in the comments of this video. Or any video. Ask me questions. I like questions. And follow me on the other social medias. I don't show everything on here. You know, Instagram's gonna have different content. TikTok's gonna have different content. There's gonna be different content in all kinds of places. So check that out. Yeah, so thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. I am going to go, well, since I'm wearing a flannel hoodie, I am now sweating, so I'm gonna go take this off and probably shower. But thank you so much. Thank you. You all are kind of the catalyst to keeping me on track, and I can't thank you enough for all of the support that you give me. I hope that you are staying safe and staying healthy, and yeah, I look forward to seeing you all here very soon again on the Spargur Yarn Crafts channel. Thank you so much. Bye.